do you prefer... What? Okay, guys, can you hold on for half an hour before lunch? Is that okay? Because I'm going to teach you some absolute crack sauce in the next session. It's just half an hour. Is that okay? Yes. A little bit warmer? Yeah, we can ask. Dominic, can you ask? So, we're happy for the room to be a little bit warmer? Okay, awesome. Right. Okay, this session is generally just going to be half an hour. I'm going to focus on networking, but not in your typical way, like, oh, just get in better rooms, blah, 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 blah. What I'm actually going to focus on is the single most important thing that when, like, I'm not just saying this, like, genuinely, when I understood this one basic philosophy, or like what I'm about to break down, when I understood this, like, actually, how I walked through life, every single person that I met started kind of qualifying themselves to me. I started going on dates with more and more attractive people. I started networking from just like kind of normal people at my level, let's say, to people that started making 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, million a month, 10 million a month, billionaire friends. And not only hang out with them and them me feeling like a bit insecure or a bit like not sure, but actually those people qualifying themselves to me. So who here would like that ability? Yes? Everyone, like walking through life and everyone just kind of looking up to you, right? It's pretty cool. And that, I think this thing is often not spoken about because it's just so cracked. And it's basically, oh, basically, I shouldn't say that word. But it's understanding, don't know what happened there, sorry, Aaron. But it's understanding how everybody views other people. So, I call this, it's very silly, but I call this the HB protocol. I'll break down what HB means after. But, does anyone remember what I said earlier in terms of what does everyone care about the most? What is it? Well, who does everyone care about? Themselves, right? True? Okay. So, everyone cares about themselves. Now, every single one of you, by the way, this relates to sales, this relates to networking, this relates to dating, this relates to maybe you have children and they don't fucking listen to you. This is why. Every single person, all of you, view other people in three categories. This is very simple, but it really is fucking important. You view people above you, the same as you, or below you. Fair? Sounds really dumb, but when I break this down, it'll make a lot more sense. Okay? Above, the same, below. That's it. And every single person walks through life and views people in those categories. Now, this is genuinely the fucking cheat code. All of society, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist now, but it's true. All of society pushes you to categorize people in these three things, but they say that you can only improve your level based on what? Like your status, right? But your status goes up how? It depends on what car you drive. It's about how good you look physically. It's about how smart you are. Maybe it's what university you went to. Maybe it's, I don't know, how tall you are, how good looking you are. That's, like, every single bit of marketing fucks with your brain just on this philosophy, right? Because what it does is it makes a gap between you and, like, their problem, right? Or, like, their like, desired outcome. What I'm saying is, like, all of society literally is trying to program you in some way to make you feel a bit insecure. And it lowers your own perceived value. Now, I'm bringing this up because you view people in these three different categories. Now, the HP protocol is understanding this and realizing that what you need to do is artificially and actually realistically, we'll break that down later with true confidence and values and beliefs, but it's to raise your perceived value. And this is really cracked in networking. Because here's the thing. Okay, we're generalizing here, but everybody wants their life to improve in some capacity. Maybe you don't all care about your life getting better in the same way, but you care about moving forwards. You guys would not have you guys would not have invested a whole fucking day driving to new land, getting here, taking planes, taking buses, taking ferries, whatever, and spend a whole day, a whole investment to do what? Because you believe that you're going to get some value out of this because your life is going to improve. We all want to go upwards, every single person. Does anyone here want their life to get worse? What do we yeah? Oh, sorry, you said yeah. Everyone wants their life to get better. And the reason I bring this up is because in a networking context, it's the exact same. It's also the exact same in a dating context. It goes hand in hand, right? So, for example, if you are an attractive lady, let's say, I'm going to use it from this perspective, you typically want to date up. It's like I know I'm generalizing here, but just let the point land. Ideally, you want someone that you can look up to in some capacity. Maybe it's that this person is, I don't know, more attractive or more this, but you have to respect them, you have to look up to them in some capacity. Now, the thing is, it's the same in networking, it's the same in sales. Does anyone buy from someone that they don't respect, especially if it's like in a coaching capacity? No, you wouldn't. If you look down on someone, you're not going to ask them for advice, right? Now, why am I bringing this up? Because if you want to sell yourself in a networking capacity, dating capacity, sales capacity, what you need to do is understand this and place yourself up here. I'm going to break this down in a second more. But does that first bit make sense? Yes? I'm seeing some nods. You guys are locked in, which is awesome. So, it's understanding that people categorize you like this. But the warped thing is that it's really all about perception. And if I actually break down like the online, you know where you see like a lot of these like e-com scams, right? I'm sure a lot of you people have seen these like scams online about like, if you buy this course, you'll make $1 million, right? A lot of it's bullshit. Is that fair? Okay. How the fuck did it get that far where people make all these millions? Because these people, I meet them, some of them have made a shit ton of money, yet what they sell is a load of crap. Let's look at McDonald's, if you want a different example. McDonald's, in terms of food, I had McDonald's on her birthday, and excuse my French, I had the shits for 3 days. It was terrible for my body, right? It's processed crap. Yet, we go to McDonald's thinking, oh, Happy Meal, it's going to be great, right? We pedestalize it in some capacity. But what's funny is, let's look at McDonald's, or let's look at the proper marketeer. They don't actually, like some of these people, they're not actually selling like something that's really good for you. Imagine Whole Foods had as good of marketing as possible, imagine Whole Foods had the same level of marketing that McDonald's had. The whole world would be a better place, right? Because that's like objectively better for all of us. Yet, I'm damn sure, I'll put money on it, I don't know right now, 100% sure McDonald's makes way more money than Whole Foods. Right? Because McDonald's mastered this. They've mastered the art of perception and warping perceived value. In rooms, you need to do the same in some capacity. And you do this in two ways. Either you do it by detaching from this completely, or by understanding it and using it to your own advantage. I'm going to break down both. You all still with me? Dropping source. Awesome. So, source just means like knowledge, by the way. So, Dutch people. So, this is like you. You view people in like above you, the same as you, below you. And you understand now that really what matters in a networking capacity, in a sales capacity, dating capacity, is your ability to influence where you're viewed on this hierarchy. Fair? Now, the question then goes to, how do we go about doing it? So I don't want to give you just wishy-washy stuff. So I'm going to use an example of dating. So I think it's a very easy example. What I want you to do is I want you to go through life with a HB mentality. Actually, just so I make sure that you guys actually properly lock this in, I'm going to get two people on stage to quickly break down, or like quickly just explain how important this shit is for them. Oscar, do you mind coming for 2 seconds? Right. I'm bringing Oscar on stage because Oscar and I met just over a year ago.
Yeah.
And you've implemented all of this stuff into your life, and how has networking affected your life?
Yeah, so basically I was in a position where I just didn't know anyone outside my own circle. And I met Piero, and from there we've traveled the world, we've gone to all these incredible places. All of my clients, all of the things that I've done have come through networking. So some little bit of context about me, I run a YouTube channel, I've got 1 million subscribers, and I've always wanted to sort of go beyond just that and really build a big business. And I was always looking for that 10x move, that thing that was going to like just take me to that next level. And I just thought I'd be making more videos, trying to get more views and stuff. And honestly, the thing that's changed my life most in the last year was meeting Piero. And it was through him learning how to network, meeting other people, making different connections. That's what's allowed my business and my life to change. So yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
Wait, can I just ask, what was your biggest month last year? Can I ask that?
Yeah, we did I think $120,000 in 1 month, which was incredible. And again, all of those clients that we got, it wasn't through making videos and stuff online, which is what my business does. It was through meeting people in real life, that I met them through these different things. When I went into different rooms, met them, spoke to them, became friends with them, actually connected with them, built rapport, and then from there, eventually signed them as a client.
It's pretty fucking crazy. It's like 26 years old, 120,000 in a fucking month. It's a lot of money, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Oscar. But Oscar's really understood this because I see it with my own eyes. It's fucking annoying. It never applies to me now. It's basically understanding this. Okay? Now I'm going to break it down. So you need to have the HB mentality, which is essentially you walk through life not in like putting people down, and you do two things. Either you view people the same as you, right? Or you view people like neutrally or kind of like below you. Now I don't mean that in like you look down on people. What I mean is that you need to kind of stop looking up to people. It sounds very weird. Okay? So in a networking capacity, for example, if you meet someone, for example, that's maybe a billionaire, every single person that that billionaire meets does what? They hear that they're a billionaire, and then that person starts qualifying themselves to them, right? We've all felt it. We meet someone, we feel like we have some type of value, and then that person's like, oh, like me, right? It doesn't work. It does not work. It's the same in a dating scenario. Have any of you women been on dates with a guy, and the guy's just like begging to date you? Does it ever work? No? I don't see any yeses. It doesn't know. It doesn't work. Why is that? Because if we go back to earlier, we don't want things below us. We want to move upwards. We want to go up in life. So I'm bringing this up because you can do the same when you network. And I'm doing this right before lunch strategically so that when you go and network, it's going to be hilarious, you guys actually implement this. Now, in terms of actually positioning yourself from down here to up here, now we're going to talk about your actual beliefs and your values and increasing your real value as well, because you don't want to just be hot air. I don't want you to be fucking McDonald's. I want you to be Whole Foods. But what I'm going to ask you now is, how does someone that is 10 out of 10, like, let's say like the supermodel, for example, how do they walk through life? Give me examples. Like, when they meet someone, how do they act? Pardon? Self-assured. Self-assured? Yeah. But if they meet someone, like, are they asking questions to the person? Like, do they qualify themselves to that person? No. No, why not?
No, they get the answers, like the millionaire, right?
Yeah. Why is that?
Because people want to be noticed by the model or the millionaire. They want to be noticed. So they please.
Exactly. It's the exact same in networking. It's the exact same in sales. So who here has to sell for their business or for their life in some capacity? Right, we're actually always selling. But what you need to do is you need to understand that we need to kind of play with this perceived value. Okay? This is what I call your perceived value. Right? And there is a gap between your perceived value and your real value. Now, all of society tells you to work on your real value, and we're going to tell you that as well, and we're going to give you the exact ways and strategies to actually increase what you actually genuinely bring to the table. But if you can also increase your perceived value, what happens? You can get into the rooms instantly, not faster, genuinely instantly, with very, very successful people. Very, very successful people. Okay? And in those rooms, you can actually connect with people. You do this by acting with curiosity. Okay, write that down. Curiosity. Why curiosity? Imagine you are... Actually, That's my next example. Curiosity, keep that for now. The next thing that I want to do, or the next point, is you do not self-qualify. Okay? No self-qualification. Why do I say this? I say this because imagine you're Elon Musk. Imagine you're sat at dinner with Elon Musk and you don't know him. And you ask this guy, hey, Elon, nice to meet you. What do you do? What would he say? Would he say, yeah, I'm like the richest man on earth. I have 10 businesses and I do this and I do that and I do this. He'd probably laugh, let's be honest. What do you guys think? Do you think he'd qualify himself? Would he try and like sell himself to that person? No, he wouldn't. He never would. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you actually want to become like more successful, you need to start acting like those people to bring you towards that. Okay? And so you do not self-qualify. I need you guys to implement humor. Be funny. Now, me just saying be funny is a bit shit, isn't it? Yes. So, how do we become funny? Because it's easier said than done. One thing is to become very confident, which we're going to break down later. The other thing, I'm going to set you guys a homework today. What you need to do is I want you to go home tonight and spend some time finding out who your favorite comedian is. I, for example, really like Borat. I like Sacha Baron Cohen. I like that type of weird 80s, 70s, 80s, British, like very traditional, very dry, sarcastic humor. That's what gets me going. Have you noticed how I am? I'm pretty dry and sarcastic. Fair? It allows me to step into my own authentic self. That is someone that just takes the piss. And what's really fun is if you become someone that's just fun to be around, people want to spend time with you, right? Sounds so silly, but it's actually true. Okay? So, no self-qualification, before I forget. Humor, your homework for humor is to go home, sorry I didn't explain it properly, find your favorite comedian. If you don't know who it is yet, just keep watching comedy, and find the stuff that makes you laugh so hard that your sides hurt. Okay? So that's pretty fun homework. And binge watch that shit. I'm probably the only public speaker that tells you to watch TV. Binge watch that shit. The reason why is because as you watch it, you'll understand, okay, which part of this actually makes me really laugh? And you'll start to just laugh. And you'll get into a better state. And then you can start to integrate that into your own life. To take it a step further, has anyone actually gone or like had a networking event coming up, for example, or a public, some type of conference or something, and beforehand felt a bit shit? Can anyone relate with that? A few of you? You want to know my hack that I used? So silly. If I was ever in a crap mood, how I would pump my state was I would watch Borat in my bedroom. I'd get ready, and I'd just watch stuff that made me laugh. Why is that? Because it would pump my state, and it would put me into this mood of being me. That's just someone that's kind of funny and goofy. And I own it. And because I own it, it's actually attractive. By watching it, by binge watching it, you're going to understand, okay, what do I actually need to do to implement this into my own life? And so, if we go back to this chart of understanding this, what you need to do is position yourself up here, and we can walk this gap through humor. We ask the questions, okay? So, instead of like qualifying yourself, instead of being like, oh, I run a business that makes X amount, or like, I do this that's so cool, or I do this that's so cool, be curious. Ask the person, what are things that you do for fun? What are things that, make you smile? Where was the last place you went on holiday? Now, why did I say those things? Why didn't I ask what you do for work? Because everyone that's successful, they're so fucking bored of people saying to them, what do you do for work? And then someone says, oh, I do this for work. And then, oh, okay, now that person tries to qualify themselves. Only someone that doesn't need anything from you will act like this. And the irony is, if you actually act like this, you'll get exactly what you want, right? Because you become more attractive. You start to step into this version of you rather than staying down here. Does this make sense? Yes? Okay. So, give you another example. Not another example. Does anyone know the story about the red leather jacket? Does it look familiar at all? Okay. In March, I actually really like old films. And some of you might laugh at this, but I was watching a film called Fight Club. And the reason I bring that up is because I saw this film, Fight Club. If you those of you that don't know it, it's the story, or the film, it's a story about this guy that brings up a whole movement of people. He says, the things you own don't own you. And he's like, you basically are not your things. What you have does not define you. That was his biggest message. And I watched that in my bedroom in Dubai. And something clicked for me. I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to get that message out there because I think it's so poignant. Because all of us try so hard to be something else and to use all of these external things to boost our value. But here's the thing. What happens if you break your leg? For example, I broke my collarbone in Bali, driving a moped, or hit. Ouch. I got a bit out of shape. Did I let that knock my confidence? I actually met my girlfriend at that point. She was just like, this guy's just got a broken arm. Didn't even talk about it. Just walk around with a broken arm. Or maybe you have a bad month in business. Everyone has ups and downs, right? Obviously, we want to trend upwards, but you might go up and down. Fair? Now, you don't let that define you. You don't let the title of your work define you. I used to work at like a massive company called Bloomberg. One of the richest men on earth owns it. It was called Mike Bloomberg. And it was so funny because we would see it live. We would be placed into different rooms and you'd have like a different status within the company based on the team that you're in, based on the coverage that you have. For example, I was like tier 1 like sales rep for tier 1 banks. Which like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Bank of America and Credit Suisse before they collapsed. So I was like buying Geneva, Paris and whatnot. And everyone in the office was like, oh wow, so cool. But then I went from that to like running basically an SEO business, which is really not sexy. And these people started looking at me different. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. It's because I'm now not a tier 1 account manager. It's because I realized that that doesn't actually define me. So what you do does not define you. What you have does not define you. And so when you meet people, you want to ask them about their values. What are things that they do for fun? Right? Who do they want to become? Where do they want to go forwards in life? I've also noticed this. With some older friends, everything we talk about is the past. It's, oh, this was cool, that was cool, years and years ago. And yet, with my new friends that are very successful, very motivational, what do we always talk about? We always talk about the future. We're always forward-looking. And so bring that into your new relationships that you're going to form, because there are, I don't know how many exactly, but it's like 80 fucking people here. It's a lot of people. You've made the effort here, so when you go on your lunch break, connect. Speak to someone new. You do not know what that connection can bring you. I actually introduced someone to someone else the other day, a client, and that one introduction, like, I'm not making this up, he told me after that it made him an extra $100,000 a week. One connect. You do not know who you're going to meet. So you have to go fucking meet each other.
Yeah.
Make sense? How are we doing for time? Okay. Right. I've got 5 more minutes.
No.
Do you guys want me to break this down further? Or do you want me to give you a real quick speed run of how to network in any city, no matter where you are? Real quick? Turbocharge? Yeah? Right. I've done this in Dubai, I've done this in Madrid, I've done this in Bali, I've done this in London. I mean, kind of doing it here right now. I'm not from the Netherlands, I don't live here, I live out of a suitcase. Yet every single place I go to, I had a dinner last night with what, like 12 people? Very successful. Some of them are here. I do this in every single city that I go to. And you can do this. Because often, yes, you can have all the knowledge, yes, you can like have the right business, but you heard Oscar, the real breakthrough, the real quantum leap can happen by just meeting one connection. All you need is one right person. It can genuinely change everything like that. But what's difficult is if you're in a place where you don't know anyone, right? We've all been there. Where we want to be better in life, we want to improve, but we're looking around, we're like, what the fuck? Like, everyone just is happy with their status quo. No one actually wants to progress forwards. Now, one thing that you guys have already done, which is fucking amazing, is you've got yourself here. which means you take action, and you've got yourself into a room with 80 other people that take action. People have flown in across the world. People here want to improve their lives, which is fantastic. It's on easy mode for you. But here is my speed run for how to get an insane network in any city. And it's so silly, but it just works time and time again. Roman, does this work for you? Yeah. Yep. Oh, you don't? Okay, fine. You can come. Come on, come. This worked for Roman. Roman literally has friends that are billionaires.
Well, hi. Oh wow, there is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Piero was one of the people I met in Dubai a year ago now. It was also in February, I believe. And through that, I mean, to give some context like you did previously, we are a business in the UAE. We do events for, it's usually B2B corporate events. But realistically, what I realized through networking is that so many doors open. So Pierre introduced me to a racing driver. His name is Ishan. We've been in touch with Ishan since. Ishan is based in the UAE. Through him, I got doors to other people in motorsport, through whom I got other doors also in motorsport. And through that, we got, I think, around 15 clients, if not more.
How much one client worth to you?
It depends on the client. But we can guesstimate, yeah, it's big ticket. But yeah, no, the power of networking, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And it gave me a bit of time to just do the speed run. Thank you, Roman. Pop off. So, networking speed run. I guys want you to all write this down, because any city that you are, this fucking works. Okay, number one, ICP. Say ICP. 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 Who knows what ICP stands for? Come on, what the fuck? I think you're business owners. What does ICP stand for? Ideal customer profile. Exactly. Why am I bringing this up? I bring this up because you need to know exactly who you want to network with in order to actually find them, right? You want to improve your network. What the fuck does that mean? You haven't defined it. It goes back to before. You need to have a very clear goal so that you can actually move towards. And we're actually going to do some goal setting later. Okay? But you need to get crystal clear with who you want to be surrounded by. For me, it was crystal clear, and guess what? It happened. I want to be surrounded by who? People that make 8, 9, 10 figures a year, that travel the world, that have good family values, that are fit, healthy, fun, can have a laugh, take a joke. That's what I want. So take some time right now. Who exactly is your ICP? You know? Who exactly do you want to hang out with? You want a better network. What does that mean? Okay? The reason I bring this up is because when you figure that out, what you can then do, very simple, is you can start to ask yourself, where do these people hang out? It sounds so silly, but it's very, very poignant and very true. For example, I have a client, guy in crypto in Singapore, and he was like, oh man, I want a better network. I'm just like behind my computer all the time. I was like, okay, who do you want to network with? It sounds so dumb, but sometimes you just need this, someone to tell you. Okay, he wanted to spend time with more people that are in crypto that are making a lot of money. So what did we do? You think like the person that you want to network with. So what does that mean? It might mean going to a better gym. Aaron in Dubai implemented this, and he's like hypnotized Tate's like best buddy, Andrew Tate's best buddies. Like he's worked with them. Why? Because he was like, okay, I want to work with these like this caliber of people. Which gyms do they go to? And he went there and he met them. Sounds so dumb, but no one like goes outside their box. So figure out who your ICP is, and then figure out where do those people hang out. You can look on Eventbrite, you can look on Facebook groups. You're here, fantastic. A lot of your people are probably in this room right now. Make sure you go fucking talk to them. If you're in the wrong city, get out your city and go find them. If you have to travel, make it happen. Don't let external circumstances dictate your reality in your life. Okay? Maybe it's a fancier gym, maybe it's in the sauna. I don't know. Maybe you're like into something really niche, whatever, like, I don't know. For example, I really like charity work, and I really like dogs. So what I did is I started going to dog walks. But this brings me on to my third point. You have to have an offer, okay? The amazing thing with having an offer, actually, let me ask, did anyone here invite other people to this event? I think someone did. Yeah? Awesome. At the back, I know a few people, okay? The amazing thing about I want you to all consistently have an offer in your back pocket. What I mean by that is having something that you can invite someone to, your ICP to. Ideally, this offer is something that is in alignment with what that person wants. Okay? So, for example, you want to meet, or like you want to network with an entrepreneur that's really healthy and into fitness. Let's say, well, figure out where do those people go. Maybe it's a better gym. Maybe it's a different networking event. And in your back pocket, you have an offer, right? Just like a business has to sell something, has to have something to sell. And what you can do is you can qualify that person, which goes back to before, the HB thing, right? And you can understand if that person's a fit to bring into your life, to invite to your event, to invite to your thing. Make sense? For example, in Dubai, I wanted to meet people that actually had very good values. What's difficult in Dubai is there are a lot of people that genuinely they're like number one motivator and only motivator is just like money. They don't really care about family, they don't care about charity and like other values, let's say. But I really care about those things. So what I did is I started going to events all the time, like 6, 7, 8 times a week. It was ridiculous. But in those events, I went in the back pocket and in my mind, in my back pocket was this event, which was every Sunday there is a charity dog walk, and I made a group chat. And I would go to events and I would speak to people and I'd be like, do you do any charity? Do you like dogs? People would say yes to the first two. And I'd say, okay, cool. Like, do you want to come and join this charity dog walk in the desert? It's free. You just have to dictate 2-3 hours to walking dogs in the desert. Sounds very silly. But I asked this to like really successful entrepreneurs. You know what's amazing? I actually filtered out a lot of bullshit people. I asked this to a lot of people, and you could see them put their money where their mouth is, right? Because people would say, oh, I really care about dogs, I really care about charity, and then no one comes to this fucking event every single Sunday. Fine, you can't do this week, but what about next week or the week after, because I did it every single week. And so you can do the same in your life. Think of an event or something that you can invite that person to. Maybe it's even in your own life. It could be a dinner, it could be like boxing, sparring. I know some of you guys in the back, right? And you meet someone and you ask them, you qualify them if they fit into your life. And it does not matter what level that person is. Is this crystal clear? ICP, we find them and we present them an offer. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 5 minutes over. Go for lunch?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very, very much. Just before we break out for lunch, so lunch is what, 45 minutes?
45 minutes, yeah.
So lunch is 45 minutes. What I want you to do is to actually implement this right now. Okay? Network. Speak to someone different. Don't just stay in your same crowds. Speak to someone that you haven't actually spoken to before, because you do not know what that connection could bring. Fair?
Yes.
Awesome. And I'll see you guys after lunch. I'll just go down.
Ja, we are.
I hope I don't cover.
Dat doet hij, hè? Ja, maar mocht hij op.